So, right now, I'm about to bust out my trusty little booklet because it has my notes for Malcolm and Marie in it. And this was a struggle for me. And the reason why it was a struggle was because I wanted to make sure that I promised this. I love doing reviews of dramas, of movies. But I wanted to make sure when I'm doing reviews for 2021, I'm looking at the acting, I'm looking at the depth of the character, I'm looking at how are they growing from character that they've played in the past. I'm also looking at the fact I'm not a real critic, but one thing I'll say to you is I watch everything. I support everyone. I I say it to you in my bio or in my Instagram, my Twitter. I'm a singer actress, so how am I going to be able to critique somebody but I haven't been in anything? So when I'm reviewing, that's for me watching a lot of their work, but also seeing how you don't have to be an actor to become an actor. You don't have to have talent to act. And you also don't have to have talent or be successful to get things made. It can just happen from nepotism, or it can just happen because you're at the right place at the right time. I was about to say at the right place at the wrong time. No, it's at the right place at the right time. So I busted out my trusty book and I started writing notes for Malcolm and Marie because I saw it opened up in black and white. And I was wondering why it opened up in black and white. And the reason why it opened up in black and white is because I think they wanted to show cinematic past, how you don't need color when you're trying to tell stories. And I love that for black stories back in the day when they did that because you can see there was like a different type of cinematography and it was more intimate. And I know they shot this in one day and it was during when the pandemic first happened. But also besides when the pandemic first happened, it also was between two people who have like a huge age difference. It bothered a lot of people. Like people were arguing on my Twitter about it. Mia Sings 21, 22, not 21, it's 22, about the age difference and how it bothered them because Zendaya is younger than John David Washington. But I said what we should be focusing on is the acting because a lot of the times people say you get the same Zendaya, but that's how she's casted. They make the part like every part as before. If a person is casted as the same character every time, you really need to not just blame the actor. You need to blame the people that wrote the script and also the casting directors that keep casting them and allowing them to act like this. John David Washington, I didn't go see Tenet. No, I'm sorry. No. I like the original. I'm happy with the original. I don't like a lot of remakes. So if you follow me, you'll see I wholeheartedly do not like remakes. If I like a remake, the best remake I've ever been able to watch was La Femme Nikita. And it wasn't one, two. The two movies were the best in the TV show. Surprise for that. I want to do a cosplay of that later. But I didn't like the TV show by the CW. So if I'm watching something and it's black and white, it has to be good. And I gotta say, the black and white was beautiful. But I don't know if I'll call Malcolm Marie good. I'll call it had potential. But good, ugh. So we're going to start off, and I'm going to start critiquing it. I'm done with my little rant session, because I had to say that. Malcolm Marie is an original. It's not a remake, but I love the fact that it was a homage of black and white movies. There's a lot of black and white movies back in the day that were like instant hits. No, I don't remember any. If you guys know any, recommend it to me. I'll definitely watch it, because I love oldies movies. Like, that is the reason why I love reviewing movies. Because watching old movies is why we expect more from new movies. So, when Malcolm and Marie opens up, we open up in this beautiful forest. It was just so peaceful. That's scary as hell when it's peaceful like that. And then after you go to this peaceful forest, we get to this gorgeous house. I wanted that house so bad. I don't care. That house was beautiful. So Malcolm goes inside and he puts on the music and Marie runs straight for the bathroom. But the thing that got me is nobody's washing their hands first. You know full well if you go out early in the day and then you get home late, the first thing you do is wash your hands. Then after you wash your hands, you know for a fact that you're going to start cooking your food and y'all going to start hugging each other up and being all over each other. No, we didn't get that with Malcolm and Marie. We got Malcolm putting on this music that sounded like our parents' music. So you knew what that music was about and you knew what that music meant. Then, besides it being about that, you have Marie in the bathroom handling her business. I said, what? Nobody is ever this comfortable in the bathroom. I'm like, they're playing with me right now, and they really were. Because Zendaya really was in the bathroom. This man is jamming to this song. But he's jamming to this song, and it's like, dude, what are you doing? You just had the night of your life. You're supposed to be in here serenading your girl. And then we find out why he's not serenading her. He's not serenading her because he has an attitude about how he was treated that night. So he starts talking to her while she's in the bathroom. Sidebar, why do people do that? I cannot hear you when I'm in the bathroom. Especially if you have music on and it's blasting and you have an attitude problem. You got to turn the music down so I can hear you. So Marie starts responding back to him. She can't hear him, and then she hears him. Then she doesn't hear him. I'm like, I hate people to do this. Like, please stop having a full-blown conversation with me while I'm going to the bathroom and I can't hear you. So he starts complaining about how he felt treated, how the critic from the LA Times wasn't understanding his experience. Okay, so you already know who Malcolm is already. Malcolm has come from money, or he's come from pompousness. Because instead of being happy that he has his girlfriend there to support him about his movie, the first thing he focused on was she did not see what he wanted her to see. Mind you, this is your first film direction. Like, if this is your first directing debut, why do you have such a problem with somebody's opinion? It's going to be like that. You're supposed to be pissed, but you're supposed to be able to take that criticism. That lets you know he's pompous and he's full of himself. So he's complaining to Maria about it, and she's listening, and she's coming out. And I'm going to tell you, she's a good girlfriend because she went right in the cabinet and she took out macaroni and cheese. But the thing that got me it was Kraft macaroni and cheese. That's it. We only have a macaroni and cheese. No chicken on the side, no greens, no macaroni and cheese. And then you had to have the Kraft. Like, I know we love that, but we don't put no spin on it. We don't put no hot sauce on it. I'm like, they are not broke. Why are they acting like they broke? They are not broke. I'm like, whoever picked this scene, that must have been the only food they had. But I was like really kind of insulted that was the only food they had. And also, that one box is only enough for one person. Yes, people do eat that one box by themselves. And if you don't, you're lying to yourself. You're lying. That is the best box to eat by yourself. Actually, people feel offended when they have to share that box with people because some people waste their box. And it's like, that's why I said I could eat it by myself. That's why people don't like making 2 boxes of macaroni and cheese. So then Marie came in and she starts talking to Malcolm. And they're talking while she's making a macaroni and cheese. That is the worst time to have a conversation with somebody. First of all, if I'm cooking for you, I don't want to know how you feel until after I'm done cooking for you. Second, why are you not cuddling, kissing me up, and just letting me know you love me while I make this food? So then he starts doing that. But then, like, you can tell Malcolm really has a problem. And that problem is he loves putting his foot in his mouth. He starts off with this monologue, rant, and it's like, okay, John David Washington, I need you to go back to whatever school you went back to. He sounded just like his dad. And it was like, it sounded good, but that was it. You didn't even understand the point of why he's having this monologue fight with Marie when she's trying to feed him right now. So they start kissing and cuddling and hugging. And she's really listening to him. But by then, I could just feel like that moment was not there yet for Zendaya and John David Washington. I need to start saying Marie and Malcolm. Because I'm so caught at the fact that John David Washington was not Malcolm to me at all. So I kept calling JDW the whole movie. And it's like I'm doing a review on it. And it was just killing me how much you could tell he was not in this character at all. So John David Washington basically, it says the monologue. And he starts kissing and hugging Zendaya. But like, he was offensive to Marie. Like, how are you sitting here being offensive to your girlfriend when she just cooked for you? You didn't even acknowledge her in the speech. So she let him rock, and he was kissing all up on her. And then she left to get changed and she went into the room because she was so irked. She finished the macaroni and cheese. I don't know if I said the scene before that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm jumping around, but I'm really getting into the review because we're getting to the heart of the problem with Malcolm and Marie. So Zendaya as Marie. Sorry, let me stop playing. Marie goes into the room. I'm going to get better at this, guys. I'm going to stop keeping actors as themselves, and I'm going to let them be the character. Because some of the actors just are the character the whole time, and some people are just themselves. So Marie goes into the room and she starts taking off her clothes and she's speaking to him and he wants to know why she doesn't like Taylor and why she's meek around Taylor. And she finally tells him because you didn't thank me in the speech and he said it's not a big deal. Okay, so somebody doesn't acknowledge me and I've been there with you through thick and thin and you're ride or die and you think your friends, your family, your mom and your co-stars but not me, we have no relationship. We don't need to talk about the next step of our relationship. We don't need to tell each other I love you. We should just end it. Because obviously you don't respect and love me like I love you. So I got that. And when Marie let that rock, I knew that there was more to this story than what was being said. You think Malcolm's done? Oh, no, he's not done. Malcolm justified himself and said it's not a big deal. Again, Malcolm is proving why he has a problem. He's a pompous asshole. Excuse me for the cuss words. He's pompous. I'll bleep it out. I'll even cut it out. He's just ridiculous. So he's eating the food. He's not even waiting for her. He didn't even make a bowl for her. I know it says it's only for one person, but considering that it seems like the only thing they have is macaroni and cheese for one person, he could have made her a bowl too. He made this one big bowl for himself. So it lets me know that Marie makes the food for this like him a lot, and he doesn't care to make sure she eats at all. So then Malcolm goes back for seconds. And this is when Zendaya is insulted. And she should have been insulted for the mere fact, how are you going back for seconds when you're not even explaining to me why? Why I'm upset and the reason why you did not thank me. And I was looking like, Marie, he chose violence. And everybody knows what he chose violence meaning. Like he wanted a fight. And he dismissed the hell out of her. And she kept talking to him, and I said, this is not the right time to keep talking to somebody like this. For the simple fact of the matter, how are you going to talk to somebody that clearly does not respect you like you respect them? You should have no respect for them at all. So then after that, you think it's over. It's not. Malcolm just basically dismisses everything that she's saying. And he does his dumbass monologue. Don't ask me to do these monologues. You go watch the movie. Because it was kind of hard for me to do this review in the way that was not bashing. Because I feel like John David Washington belongs in Tyler Perry acting school. Because that's not what this movie was supposed to be. He just was reading the speeches and it was like, I want you to act. It's like Zendaya, people were coming at her about her acting that she was the same character. But if you think about it, Rue and Marie are the same character, but they're growing. They're growing. And Marie was really growing as she kept reading him and arguing with him. So she gets changed and they argue. And he leaves and he puts on another song. This song is so offensive too. Like the songs they picked were blowing my mind through the whole movie. Because all the songs were offensive. It was like you're telling me something in each song. If my parents really listen to songs like this when they're arguing, I see why so many people were fighting each other and beating each other up and like trying to burn each other up and doing crazy things in the 70s. Because these songs were like, you're pissing me off, like big time. So Zendaya goes into the tub and this is when I knew this movie went to the point of no return for me. Do you know this man had the audacity to throw in her face about her being a recovering drug addict? He told her about him cheating on her with other women because she wanted to know, was the movie inspired by her? And then also about her being a recovering drug addict because she had like an overdose. I'm itching. Like when I start itching, that means I'm really getting to the point. And then besides being a recovering drug addict, he also told her about who he was sleeping with. So not only did you throw in my face about me almost overdosing. I forgot to mention the almost suicide. He threw that in her face. How he saved her. How she doesn't try to apply herself for anything. How she quits on herself before she can do anything. And then also he's telling her about people he slept with. I said, okay, Malcolm and Marie, there is no Malcolm and Marie. It should just be Marie and me. Marie along with me. Because Malcolm was the worst type of man to ever want to be with or date. I was done. Completely done. Because I did not understand why this man said he loves this woman so much, but he chose to throw everything that they've been through in a relationship up in her face. And what slayed me about that is the fact that when you love somebody, you don't have to do that. You forgive that person for all their faults and everything that they're going through. But it's clear Marie loved Malcolm more than Malcolm could ever love Marie. And people kept like making it seem like this was a love story. This ain't no damn love story. This ain't no damn love story. And this ain't no damn love story for the simple fact, oh, let me fix my eyebrows. I had to do that real quick. I cleaned them up a little bit. We got a little bit more cleaning to do because I took a little bit too much off. Sorry for my scary eyebrows. I'm learning how to work on my makeup and it's crazy. Let me go back to the movie. I was getting too distracted. So Marie sat in that tub and she broke. She broke down and you can visibly see in Zendaya's face, her body reaction, everything. She broke. And she broke because here I am supporting and loving this man and this is how you view me. And what's crazy is his whole story is based on her. He really tried to lie and say the story wasn't based on her. But it really was based on her. And you're really looking like, how you going to base a story on somebody you love, but then you going to sit there and judge them when you got the story from them, from their struggle? It's like, no. He going to redeem himself. No, he didn't, guys. Because after he finished telling her who he cheated with, and after he came at her goals, he went right back and put this song on and tried to act like she wasn't having the moment. So this man really, way of apology, was walking away from the fight, putting some more music on and trying to like make sure everything was okay. And all I was thinking was, did this girl really deserve this? Did she deserve this? All she wanted to do was love somebody and she wasn't getting that. So Marie waited until after she came out. And this is when I really said, Zendaya was carrying this movie. And if you say she isn't, it's okay. You're entitled to your opinion. She carried this movie. Because if somebody was that toxic to me and kept talking, I would not want to speak with them, be in a relation with them, love them, do any of that for the sheer simple fact that, like, I'm stripped and I'm vulnerable. Like the same way I have, like, no makeup on and I'm relaxed, Marie was stripped bare. Like, he stripped her so bare. I don't know how anybody can sit there when somebody exposes them like that, but you love me. You cannot love me if you tear me up like that. And like Malcolm was so pompous, like you couldn't even believe that he had the audacity to say that to her when she gave him his script. So Zendaya comes out and she's like half dressed and then they start talking and she pretends to kill herself. Like she takes out this knife and she says she slept with a family member of his and she pretends to hurt herself. Come to find out, she says that's how good of an actress I am. She didn't. She just wanted him to know that she wanted to audition for the part, but like she got so scared and then she does this beautiful monologue. It's not like the ending monologue, but it's like the monologue that's like the breakthrough for me that really let me know Malcolm and Marie was beautiful because of Zendaya. And it was like basically about how she takes care of him, how she supports him, how she's always there for him. And I'm skipping over like a whole part, but I needed to get to my favorite part first because it's more important than the part that I want to complain about. And she just let him know, I want to see love needed when I make your meals, when I support you. Every woman wants that. Every woman that is with a director, an actor, a hip-hop artist, sports, nutrition, tech geek, anything, any kind of profession. If you are having a horrible day, all I want to know is I am loved and that you love me too and you acknowledge me. So that's why the shadow bothered her because he never acknowledged anything that she ever did All he thought about was everything that he did for her when he was taking her out of her despair. But that's not what a relationship is about. He said to Zendaya, like, everything that she does. Oh my God, I keep calling her Zendaya, Marie. He says everything that Marie does, he feels like it's owed to her because like he helped her. But it's like you're not taking tally. And if you thought that, why didn't you say that to her sooner? Nobody's taking tally. You're in a relationship. It's supposed to be a give and take thing. This is a partnership. And you could clearly see this guy is in a partnership with himself. Because if you feel this way about her for this long, why are you still with her? And as I said, she loved him, but he loved the idea of the story that she gave him. And this was not a love story to me. They kept making it a love story. It was not. It was just basically showing you toxicity in relationships when you feel like you owe somebody something just because they helped you. And what you have to unlearn is that you don't have to stay with somebody just because you feel like they saved you. Yes, you're grateful to them, but you deserve somebody that can love you and see you as an equal partner. Because after I skipped ahead to this because John David Washington as Malcolm does his boring ass monologue where he's complaining about the lady, the critic, and the critic actually was nice in the review. But he's missing the whole point of what the lady is saying. Like, the movie comes off as very superficial because he wants to put out what he thinks the vision is when he missed the mark on what the vision is. So the review gives him a good review, but also it was a bad review because it came off as very superficial because he did it from his viewpoint instead of as the woman that Marie says she feels inspired by her. So it was like he's not listening to anybody but himself. And the movie isn't bad, but it could have been better because John David Washington's character as the director does not like taking critique from people. And even when Marie tries to give him a critique, he doesn't want to listen. So by this time, that monologue was so dry and so long. No. There were too many long monologues in this movie. I felt like I wanted them to just take it and throw the trash away. Like, stop with all these monologues. It is not appreciated at all. They just kept going with the monologues and going and going and going. And it was like it's not needed. So then after you had the monologue, right? You think we're done? No. It was so long. Like, we were halfway through the movie. Then we got to Zendaya's beautiful monologue. What I loved was when she sat on the bed and she was doing the monologue when she was on the bed. And she was in the bed by herself and he went to the other room. And I said, please end it there. No, they did not end it there. I was like, this is so rude of y'all. First of all, this girl read him for filth. I do not want to see how he feels. I want it to end because she better not stay with him. So you already know they didn't even let us know. It faded away and he went to his bed. She went to her bed and in the morning he wakes up and he's looking for her. I think they were in the same bed, but I was so mad at this point. I can't even remember. And don't listen to anybody that says that they belong together. No, they do not. Marie deserves better. Malcolm deserves himself. Marie made Malcolm, and Malcolm did not even help Marie get half of what Marie wants. And it's like, she probably didn't do what she could have did best. But if you're with somebody like that, and they're not from you like that, damn, I can see why you don't want to do nothing. Because the person you love don't even love you like you love them. So at the end, he goes outside and they're standing and it ends. And I was like, that was it? So what I learned from Malcolm Marie was Zendaya needs to get more lead roles. John David Washington, please stop going to the Tyler Perry School of Acting. No. You are fine, but you can act. It is in your genes. If you cannot act, it's because you are not investing in that script. You're not studying that script. You are not going back to the drawing board and investing in that character. Like, invest in it. Even if it's a day. If you got that script like a day ahead, go to sleep with it. Like, make it believable. You got to break that fourth wall. Because I know my mentor, she got on me about that. So Malcolm Marie, I gave it a 50-50. For the simple fact, 50% I cannot go back and watch it again. Unless people ask me to watch that. And the other 50 was because I don't care what anybody says. Zendaya did a breakthrough role. For the sheer simple fact, she carried that movie. I don't care what nobody says. She carried that movie. And she carried it because she invested in it. At first, she was going through the ropes in the beginning with John David Washington when they were doing the monologue battle. But after the fight scene, and when she was in a tub, it was like she broke and then she just came alive. Every time they had a fight, that's the only time they were really acting. But through the whole movie, they were just going through the motions of being a couple. Like it was a disconnect. So Malcolm and Marie, to me, that's not a Valentine's Day movie. Do not watch that for Valentine's Day. And while I was half disappointed, I half loved it because we got to see a different side of Zendaya. So I'm happy to do this review. Thank you. Now, if only Netflix can get us more movies like this, but let it be 100% good, not 50% good, where we have black leads and the relationship isn't toxic. I know that's a lot for them. So I know I owe you guys Lupin. I'm doing Lupin, but I figured out 2 more things and I'm adding it in. Lupin is done, but I've realized something else and I have to add it in. I have to edit it. So Lupin is not going to be dropped to Tuesday instead of Saturday. I'm sorry. I'm dropping Malcolm Marie because it got to me, but Lupin, it's a little bit more complex and I'm not dropping that to Tuesday. I'm going to drop that Tuesday and I'm also going to drop my new channel on Tuesday. But I want you to comment, like, and subscribe. If you don't want to comment, like, and subscribe, all good. I'll see you at the next video. Watch it. Tell me what you think. You can also, I want you to comment, like, and subscribe. I'm playing with you. Follow me on Mia Adams. Follow me on Mia Adams 1. That's my IG. Subscribe to Rendezvous with Mina because I just love doing these reviews for you. And then also, Mia Sings 22 is my Twitter. If you ever have anything you want to talk about TV wise, because it usually leads into me doing a YouTube about it. But I just want to say, if you are a person who's waiting for this review, I'm glad I talked to you about it on Twitter because you guys really got me together with it. Because at first I was really just not getting it. Then I just had to say it. So until next time, guys, bye.